Today we're going to talk about double exposures. And double exposures are an old photography technique where they would take two separate negatives, put them in their enlarger, and expose them down to a single piece of paper so that you would have two images on one actual image. Now in Photoshop we do this very differently, using layer masks and kind of creating our looks using multiple images. So this is called double exposure, but really we're doing multiple exposures today. So let's start by zooming in on our example 1. Now check your layers real quick. You'll see under example 1 you have multiple images here. We have a night city, you can kind of pop that on to see it, a day city, mountains, and birds along the way. We're going to play around with each one of these to create the look. Now we're going to start with the basic model. And you can see for all of the models that I've picked today, they are primarily dark. They're kind of silhouetted out for the most part. And I did this for a reason, so that I can use the dark areas of this image to show other images in it. So the first thing we want to do is make a selection of our models. Now grab your quick selection tool, W is the shortcut. Go up here and click on Select Subject. Now that's going to make a pretty good selection of this guy. If we look carefully, we might see a couple of issues right here around the eye. I'm going to kind of grab that extra area, making sure that I've got that. I'll look at his coat to make sure it's good, and it is for the most part. Now you'll see a bunch of little flyaway hairs up here. I'm not going to select every little thing in the set. All right. So I'm going to hit Command J to duplicate that layer so that I've got that model on his own separate layer. Just to double check, you can see that there he is cut out of his background. Now I'm going to bring up my mountains layer. I want to be able to see this very clearly. Now to do what I'm looking to do, I need to blend this down. So I'm going to move this layer down just above the image of the model, now called layer 1. And I'm going to hold Option or Alt, and I'm going to click just underneath this layer. And that's going to clip him to that image. So that puts everything where I want it to be on that image. Now I can clip as many things as I want to this. If I keep opening all of these, I can link them all down. They'll all only show up on that one model that we've cut out. So what we're going to do today is use our layer masks to blend this in better. So I'm going to, on my mountain layer, I'm going to create my layer mask. I'm going to open that up so that I've got this white box right here. Now remember, with layer masks, you're painting in black or white. So I'm going to need my brush tool, and I'm going to need black as my top color. Now my brush is about 175. I'll decrease this in some spots. I'll increase it in other spots. You'll kind of see as it goes. So the first thing I want to do is bring back the edge of this guy's face. There's no point in having the model if I can't see a little bit of his face. And while I'm at it, I'll get a little bit of the front side of his jacket so I can kind of see through. And you can give it some kind of sporadic clicks so it looks a little more natural. So I'll highlight just that edge of that hair, kind of bringing that back of that head back a little bit. I want to be able to tell that this is a model at the end of the day. Now, once I've got that, I need to figure out what I want to actually mask. And my goal here is to kind of keep the front side of this as him and the back side as this mountain area. So I'm going to kind of create this black line going kind of through him like this, giving me just the right side of him lit up. Good. Now I'm going to find the day city, and I'm going to bring that forward. I'm going to hold Option or Alt just underneath that layer to link it down. Now I'm going to do the same thing, bringing back the front side of this guy's face a little bit. And then on the top, I'm going to kind of blur back to that city, that mountain on the back right. Now be careful, because if you notice what I just did, I painted in black on the image. This is destructive and very dangerous. Make sure you are creating a layer mask each time you do this. It's not going to look much different, but if you notice as I go around the back side, I can now see that mountain area coming back through. So it kind of blends those two together, right? Now I can move these images around if I want to. So if I want to move that city around, I can kind of bump that up a little bit, looking down here towards the bottom to see what I want out of this. I can adjust this layer mask and draw in further into the area to kind of smooth this out if that's what I want. It's all in how you want to play with this, how you want it to look. Just make sure you can still see that model. That's going to be key. If I need to bring back some of the mountains, I can change my brush to white, make sure I'm on that mountain layer mask, and bring that back up. Play around with it, see what you come up with, because there can be a lot of different looks that come from just these images. Now the night city, I'm going to bring that one forward. Same thing, Option or Alt, click it down, and I'm going to use this for the bottom area. So again, make sure you're on your layer mask, painting black as your color, bringing back all this extra area, but I'm going to leave that bottom looking a lot like it does originally, getting rid of the top. So again, it's just a play, right? How do you want it to look? Making it look smooth, natural, a little different maybe. You don't even need to use that one if you don't want to. Next, I'm going to bring up the birds. Now the birds create a bit of an issue for me because I don't want them to actually be stuck into that clipping mask. And I want to get rid of this background sky. So I'm going to get my magic wand tool. W is the shortcut. On the birds layer, I'm going to click one time on the sky. It makes a pretty good selection, but there are some areas that might create an issue. You can change your tolerance up at the top to be a little higher. I'm at 32 and it does a pretty good job. I will select and inverse this, creating a layer mask on my birds. And then I can move my birds around so that they look more natural. If you see this area out here, that's because that wasn't selected. Click on your layer mask, you can draw that out just like anything else. So I'm going to move my birds around until they feel a little more natural. I want a couple of them on him and a couple of them past him. So I'll hit Command T, maybe make it a little bigger. And that gives me a pretty good look for my double exposure. It's not really a double exposure, it's really a multiple layer exposure. But it creates a very unique and interesting look to this image. It's not as plain and stagnant as it once was. Experiment with this. Have a good looking image, and when you've got it, experiment with this. And once you've got this, let's move over to the right. Now the second image here, the second example, when I open that up, I have the model, and I looked for images that related to that model. So I was looking for Arabic arches, Arabic cities that were large, Arabic cultural centers, and an Arabic book, because what is she doing here? She's sitting here reading, right? So I'm going to grab my selection tools, and I'm going to go up here and hit Select Subject. It should make a pretty good selection of her. There are some issues that'll pop up, so check that book and fix it with your quick selection tool, holding Option and Alt to go back as needed and kind of clean that up. So it can be a bit of a fight to get everything selected. All right, once you have a good selection of her, we're going to hit Command J or Control J again to duplicate her. And then we're going to bring up our images. Now the first image is this arch, and I want you to notice right off the bat you can see through it. So you can utilize opacity and blending modes here to create different unique looks. So push that opacity up if you want to see all the way through it, bring it down if you want to be able to see through it a little bit. So there are some options here on how to kind of play with this. So I'm going to link down that arch, holding Option or Alt. I need to make sure I hit my layer mask. Be careful not to paint black. It won't look like you're doing it wrong. Be on the arch and paint black to kind of smooth that out. And I'll make my brush a little bit smaller here. Go around the edges, make sure that you're getting the edge of her back. Get rid of certain areas that you might not want this to be in. So maybe I just want the girl down at the bottom here. Once I have that, I will bring forth the city. I'm going to hold Option and Alt, blending that down. I will create a layer mask, and I'll look at this and kind of figure out what areas of this I want to keep. So if I want just the top part of this where the city is, I'll keep that, smoothing into where that girl is. I can bring this image down a bit. So if I want to alter how this looks a bit, I certainly can do that. Maybe bringing it like that. Let me paint a little bit of white right here to bring this area back. And then a little bit of black right on top of the girl so that I can see through. Good. I'll bring the pyramids up. I'll link them down. I'll create a layer mask on those. And again, same thing. What do I want to keep? What do I not want to keep? Smoothing this out in different ways so that you get different looks. Use your black and white to kind of bring things back and forward. Move the image as need be. Create the look that you're looking for. Alright, once I have those in place, I will bring the book forward. And the book's the last piece I'm really going to work with. And I don't really want to mess with it much. I'm going to kind of move it up a little bit. And then I'm going to use a blending mode to kind of blend this down onto these different images. I'm going to go through and kind of see what works, what doesn't. And I'm going to find one that I like. You find one that you like. There are a number of ways you can play around with these different things. So once you blend it down and you've got a fairly good look to your design, I want you to move over to the right. Alright, so we don't necessarily have to link it down every time. We don't necessarily have to cut her out either. So we're going to move to example 3 and we're going to look at what we have here. Opening up the multi-exposure, you can see this crazy looking image with multiple exposures of this single dancer and a spotlighted dancer as well. So using these, I'm not necessarily going to make a selection of her. I'm going to use my multi-exposure and I'm going to create a layer mask on it. And then I'm going to go immediately to my blending mode. And in my blending modes, I'm going to find a blend that I like for this, something that looks good to me. I'm on hard light if you want to match mine. Now I'll use that layer mask and my brush to make sure that I can see this girl very clearly. So I might make my brush a little bigger and I might kind of smooth out some of these areas that aren't as clean, making sure that it kind of stays on her, making sure I can see her face, because that's kind of the key thing here, is making sure that face still comes through. Once I have that, I'll turn that spotlight on. And I'll do the same thing. I'll experiment with the different blending modes and how this can affect the overall look here. What do I want? What do I not want? I want you to experiment with it and find a look that you like, whatever floats your boat. So I'm going to stick in these lighten options. And again, I'll create a layer mask on that and I'll blend that out a little bit too. So kind of creating that overall feel of these images are together, but not entirely. I can also affect the opacity. So on the multi-exposure, I'll drop the opacity down, and that'll make the overall dancer stick out better. So it's all about playing with your opacity, your blending modes, and your layer masks to help blend these multiple images together to turn multiple images into one exposed image. So that is your lesson for today. Each one of these should be unique to you and be looking very different. You can go my route, you can experiment. Feel free to do this on other images, blending things into locations. I want things to look complex, unique, different. This is what sets you apart from the rest of the graphic world. So what did we do today? We looked at our layer masks, we looked at our blending modes, we looked at our opacity, and we looked at how we can utilize these things to create unique looks to you. The more unique your looks are, the more stylized they are to you, the more people are willing to pay money to have you do their work. So you want to be different from the crowd. And simple things like playing with your layer masks and your opacity can really elevate your design abilities. So that's your daily dose of design today. I hope this has worked out well for you. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like or subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate that. See you in the next one.